Assalamu alaikum. I'm your social studies teachers with the summary of today's lesson, Zoom online lecture number 4. And it was unit number 1, the Earth in Space. And we have discussed the question answers and we have done the reading. Okay, first, question number 1 was, what do we find in space? There is no light in space, but there are millions of stars and planets. The question number 2 was, what is the sun made up of? The sun is a very bright star. It is made up of very hot gases. The question number 3 was, how do day and night take place? The spinning movement of the earth causes day and night. Question number 4 was, what is the difference between a sea and an ocean? Large areas of water on the earth are called oceans. Smaller areas are called seas. Question number 5 was, what happens when there is a storm at sea? When there is a storm at sea, the wind causes high and rough waves. This was our question number 5. Now question number 6 is, what is an island? And the answer is, an area of land surrounded by water on all sides is called an island. Then after that, as we discussed the question answers, we have done the reading of the book, and it was unit number 1 and page number 2, The Earth in Space. The Earth, the Sun, and the Moon are all part of the solar system. The solar system is made up of the Sun and the 8 planets that move around it in space. The Earth is a planet. It is surrounded by the atmosphere, which is made up of layers of air that keep all living things alive. Space is the vast darkness beyond the earth and sky. There is no light or air in space, but there are millions of stars and planets, millions of kilometers away from Earth. We can see the stars at night, but we see the sun during the day. Never look directly at the sun. It can damage your eyes. The sun is a very bright star. It is a huge ball of very hot gases, and it gives us heat and light. It is much bigger than the Earth and the other planets. The Earth is not fixed in one place. It spins in an anti-clock direction. It completes one round in 24 hours. The Earth also moves around the sun. It takes a year for the Earth to move around the sun. The moon. The moon is closer to the Earth. It is smaller than the Earth, and it is a solid body. It has no heat or light of its own. Its light is a reflection of the sun's light. The moon is called a natural satellite because it goes round the earth. The earth and moon both move round the sun. What causes day and night? Early in the morning, we say the sun is rising. In the evening, we say the sun is setting. Actually, the sun does not move at all. The spinning movement of the earth causes day and night. It is day in that part of the earth which faces the sun. It is night on the other side that faces away from the sun. Night time for us is daytime for people on the other side of the earth. Now, land and water. The surface of the earth is made up of land and water. Seas and oceans make up almost two-thirds of the earth's surface. The land near the sea is called the coast, and it is actually very low. It is at the same level as the sea. So we say it is at sea level. In some places, there are high mountains. Turn your page, they can reach a height or altitude of over 8,000 meters above sea level. Mount Everest in Nepal is the highest mountain in the world. It is 8,848 meters high. Large areas of water on the earth are called oceans. Smaller areas are called seas. Seawater is salty. Some parts of the oceans are very deep. There are waves on the surface of the oceans and seas. The water in the sea is always moving about. These movements are called currents. When there is a storm at sea, the wind causes high and rough waves. You should not go to the seaside in stormy weather. It is dangerous. The deepest point in the oceans is the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean. It is 11,022 meters deep. On the land, there are hills and mountains. Hills are not as high and steep as mountains. The lowland between the hills or mountains is called a valley. A high area of land is called a plateau. Flat land at lower levels are called plains. Some parts of the land have very little water. These places are often sandy and rocky and are called deserts. In some parts of the earth, there is a lot of ice and snow, and it is very cold. Very high mountains are often covered by snow. In other parts, there are thick forests. An area of land surrounded by water on all sides is called an island. A body of water surrounded by land on all sides is called a lake. We get fresh water from lakes and rivers. Rivers begin in the mountains and flow down into lakes or the sea. It is important to keep our lakes and rivers clean. Polluted, dirty water causes animal and plants life in it to become diseased and die out. These upsets the cycle of nature and causes more problems. There are many other landforms on the earth which you will learn about later. This was all about today's lesson. We have done the reading and explained the questions. Thank you for today. Allah Hafiz.